What was my favourite part about this weekend? I don't know. I was a big fan of Jamie Carragher, actually. Jamie Carragher, who, quite often spoke online about no one should tell Liverpool fans about how to do or how to think or how to feel. And then went online on TV, actually, saying how they should also think and how they should feel. That was interesting. Nobody should tell Liverpool fans how to feel. They did how they felt. You shouldn't do that. Hello guys, how you doing? Welcome back to another video. Trent. Now, I did a video like over a month ago when this was all coming out, and it's come up again. It's all happened, and let's talk about it. I think we kind of have to. We can't ignore this because this is huge. This is one of the best, I guess, players in the world, I guess you may say, or like one of the most like talented players in the world, you could say. I think we can all agree on that. And he's leaving his childhood club. And in all ideas, as someone from the outside, if you just put it on paper and say, young lad, came through the academy, won it all, won every single trophy possible, leaving on a high and winning Premier League, like at age of 26 or something, to go to the, Real Madrid, the best team in the world. In all purposes of like on paper, it's like, yeah, that seems reasonable. Like, that should be reasonable. But my dear God, this could have gone in a better way. And the issue is, in a 2-2 draw between Liverpool and Arsenal, that was a good game to watch. No one, and I mean no one, is talking about the game itself and what actually happened on the pitch and what happened around Trent himself. Because afterwards, when Arnold goes into his interview, he says the first thing when he took a seat, he said, who is going to start with the first Trent question? And then he got 6 immediately afterwards. They've won the Premier League. And this is all there is to talk about. So yeah, comment down below your thoughts on Trent, the booing, how do you stand by it? For me, it's based completely on how do you see football, and is it a core part of your identity, that tribal nature? Is it the be-all and end-all, as if it feels like you've been betrayed? Or do you see football in a different way? You see the more human side of it. Comment down below, like, subscribe, and Mazola Designs for the best prints, all made by myself. Use code Vizeh for 15% off all items. And of course, we've got a ton of Liverpool items too for winning the league this year. So, link down below. And let's get into it. This is a real shame, and my main issue with this, as someone that's just a fan of football, is that I hope that when Liverpool lifts the title, they're talking about the title and that moment and celebrations, and it's not just talk about Trent or how will people react to Trent. If he lifts a trophy, will he even be there? Should he start again? Should he play again? This is so unnecessary that it's almost so perfect for Liverpool, where they won the Premier League last time under COVID. They weren't there in the stadium, so they didn't really appreciate it or really enjoy it as much. And now they've won it again, and then it's almost like they can't really enjoy it. It's the same because everyone's talking about Trent. On social media, on Sky Sports, and all the journalists and all the newspapers, it's all about Trent. And I'd be really pissed off if I was a Liverpool fan. And yeah, if anything, it would make you more annoyed and make you want to boo him more for making the moment about himself. So hear me out here. Let's say this, right? How should have Trent done this? Now, we all know the main obvious thing here. He's going on a free. So because he's going on a free, it already feels bad. Like, this is a player that on the market should be worth a lot of money. And you may say, but he's academy, he came through, he came free, so like him leaving free isn't a big deal. I don't really think that's how it works. Like, if he was on the market now, if Real Madrid really wants him, how much would be sold for? 60 million, 70, 80, whatever, right? Like, it's still a lot of money that the club can really do with. So that should have been dealt with a lot better. And that could be also of the fault of not just Trent, but also the board as well for not dealing with a contract situation in the way that it should have been years ago. This should have been thought on their head. And if we knew that this would be a situation that he would be leaving, then, well, they probably should have seek to get him sold beforehand, or at least do some kind of deal with a contract where it's one of those fake ones where basically you sign a new extension, but it's really just to protect the club. And it means that, if Real Madrid really wants him, would they pay the money for him? Would they pay 60, 70 million for Trent-Alexander Arnold? Well, they probably don't want to if they could get him for free, which they have. But let's say, even still, if he was going on a free, this should have been announced months ago. Like, when Klopp did it, he announced it months before it happened. So when it came to the end of it, it wasn't like as big of a deal because it was already known and accepted months before. This should have been said in January, absolute latest, or the second that the February, like the window shut. He should have said this in early February. They should have been said months ago because now it's new, it's fresh. The first game of his announcement on social media, he is leaving Liverpool. He put this video up. It's got sad music on it. It's all emotional. Liverpool fans aren't really buying it because here we are with 3 games left to go. The second to last game at home against Arsenal, and everyone's now talking about this. This could have been done months beforehand. And if you think he should be playing or not, for me personally, I think he should still be playing because he is still a Liverpool player and he is still one of their own. I think his reasons for going, for me, is understandable. And I get it. If you're a Liverpool boy, you're a Liverpool fan, you're from the area, you're a Scouser, you don't think anything is bigger or better than Liverpool, right? Obviously you don't. But let's be honest here. It's Real Madrid. And you may hate the idea of a player thinking that he's bigger than the club, whatever else. I don't even think it's an idea of him being bigger than the club. I think it's just him seeking a new challenge in his career and having a new experience. You only live once and all that, right? So I think it makes sense, him going to Spain, him playing for Real Madrid, having a new experience. I don't think there's a problem. I don't think it is. I just think it could have been dealt with better. Now, of course, he was booed, like, badly. Like, really badly. Like, he was kind of ignored. Like, it was kind of subtle, the way that they did it, the Liverpool fans, of how they kind of ignored him. There was initial jeers when they announced his name in the lineups before the game started. But then it was about as subtle as a goddamn sledgehammer, where when he got subbed on, it was just relentless. And every time the ball came to him, it was just relentless. And then it comes to social media and the general opinion of just the general public. And this is something that Liverpool fans won't care about. They'll say, I don't care, you're not Liverpool fans, so who cares what you think? Which is reasonable, right? But you'll see online the idea of, oh, well, what happened to you never walk alone? You never walk alone until you leave in a free transfer, basically. You know, like the idea of the People's Club and one of our own, and you never walk alone, and it's all about the second that you decide to have something different, we'll turn our backs on you. You know, hear me out. I'm a match-going fan. Well, I guess I was until I moved country. But, like, I went week in, week out, 5-6 years straight, home and away, until I turned 16, and until COVID happened, I went every single game home and away. Okay? Of course, seasons take a hold before that, right? But I was a serious match-going fan for Burnley. Never once will I boo a player. Never once. No matter how bad, no matter what happened, I'll never boo a player. Because for me, they're wearing my colours. They're wearing my club shirt. So as long as they're a player on the pitch, me booing them is going to solve nothing. It's going to solve nothing. It's going to make them play worse. It's going to make their confidence even lower. It's going to make them play with more of a danger. They'll be more scared to take a risk, so they play more safe, and then they'll play worse, and then they'll get booed again, and then they'll play even worse. In my opinion, maybe this is an off-topic thing, but I don't think there's anything to gain from booing your player or your team ever. I don't think there is. Like, and that's just where I stand with it. Because if you are booing them because they suck or something, or like they're playing badly or whatever, you booing them is just going to make it worse, and they're just going to play worse. I can't imagine a situation in life where you get booed and like jeered and called, you know, whatever else, and you would decide to then do better. Like, you may want to do better, but then you've got this pressure behind you. It's going to make you go into your shell. This is a different situation. It's more of a, not like he's doing bad. It's just, you just don't like him anymore. You just don't agree with his situation. But if he's still a player on the pitch, you're just going to make him play worse. Because he's, especially in a game against Arsenal, which is like, you know, it's a very big game, or like it's a very tough game to play against a top opposition. It's going to make him play worse, and it's going to make him take less risk and play more safe. So, I don't know. In my opinion, like, you spend your money, you do what you want, so I can't, like, demand you to do what you don't want to do. If you want to have a go at the players and shout them, scream them, you can. I personally think it's stupid. I think it does nothing, but actually do the opposite of what you want it to do. But hey, as long as it makes you feel better, bro, then that's all that matters, right? Get all your anger out in the world. So Trent, every time the ball came to him, he got booed. Every time that it came near him, he got booed. Even, you know, some of the worst players in history or managers didn't get this treatment. You know, Roy Hodgson had a really bad time of it at Liverpool. But he never got this kind of treatment back then. And Arsenal, that by the way at the time was like down to 10 men, but they were able to feed off this. They fed off the negativity and they got better in it. Like they felt like they had more control of the game. There were arguments in the fans, there were arguments in the crowds of the fans squabbling with each other and arguing with each other about how he was treated. And it led to what was a penultimate game of the season at Anfield when they've won the title, turned into negativity. It just turned into what should be a celebration and a good day out. No matter the result, really, turned into this. So realistically, Trent shouldn't be subbed on again. He shouldn't be. He shouldn't even be in the squad. Because this is going to happen. And that for me is a real shame. Because no matter what you think about how he's done it, he's still a Liverpool boy that's won the league for the club. And his reasons I get, I just don't agree with how he's done it. As I said, this should have been done and announced that he was leaving back in January. So it gave them time. Because right now, he's given him 2 weeks after all the conversation about it for weeks and weeks and weeks prior, leading up to this crescendo of, well, screw this guy. And I think one thing to keep in mind is how the players will feel about this. Because when that was happening and he was being, booed and jeered when he was clapping off the fans at the end of the game, you got the likes of Szoboszlai and Cody Gakpo that looks genuinely, shocked by what's going on here. And I think this may be a negative effect to the players in terms of how would they be treated, and it may scare them a bit. I don't know, how if you're a player and you see a friend of yours being treated this way, how would that make you feel about the fans in the club? And you'll be having those conversations inside. And I don't know if this may play a bigger problem than what it really needs to be. You got Luis Diaz wrapping his arm around him, and I don't know, man. It's such a Liverpool thing to do, where they finally got this moment. It's not COVID. They can celebrate a league title, and now it feels like it's tainted. So I saw a comment here, which I agree with, for the most part, because I think football for many people becomes a bit too much and too serious. And maybe it's because I'm getting older, I've got kids now, whatever. So I don't go to football week in, week out, so it's no longer my life. It's no longer my identity. So maybe that's why I see it differently now. But I saw this comment, and I want to read it out for you, by a lad called Phil, saying the following. It's sad when grown adults act like petulant children, abusing some kid in his mid-20s trying to just challenge himself with new experiences. The booing said more about the supposedly grown men than anything. Their behaviour is a disgrace to Liverpool's proud culture and made a mockery of its you never walk alone ethos. Trent wasn't wearing an opposition's kit. He was wearing the same red kit he achieved numerous successes in the past several years that gave them same supporters a sense of pride and joy, including this season, which they still have yet to officially celebrate. Tribalism is a perspective held by a small, emasculated cowards desperate to cling to some superficial sense of belonging. The grown adults booing Trent outed themselves as performative supporters where tribal allegiance is more important to them than family. They're embarrassing. So for me, this situation comes down to simply how you see football. If you see football as, a part of your identity, it's a core part of you, a tribal part of you, your group, your people, and there's nothing else that matters the most, then you'll see this in a way where you would boo someone that, in your view, turned their back on you. You'll see it that way. Almost like as if you've been dumped by your partner, for example. You feel like you've been betrayed. If you see it in that way. Many of us probably wouldn't see it in that way. And football is still football. But it's not everything. And you can understand the human part of it. And that's where I stand. So yeah, comment down below your thoughts. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.